A woman had raised her pet snake with love for 5 whole years. Over time, the two had developed a deep bond. But one night, while she was fast asleep, the snake quietly climbed onto her bed and stretched itself out completely straight beside her body. The sight sent chills down her spine. Her pet snake was known for having a huge appetite. It could swallow an entire chicken in one sitting. But over the past few days, it had suddenly stopped eating. And now, lying perfectly straight beside her in bed, it was behaving in a way she had never seen before. She immediately woke up her husband, but he casually dismissed her concerns, telling her not to make a big deal out of it. Still, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The next day, she visited a biology professor. What he told her made her blood run cold. He said the snake was measuring her body length. According to him, when a snake behaves this way, it can be a sign that the snake is sizing up a potential meal. But her husband still wasn't convinced. Our snake is harmless, he insisted. It would never hurt anyone. Eventually, the woman tried to convince herself that everything was fine, but that same night, she suddenly woke up. Her husband was nowhere in the house. The entire place was silent. And she was completely alone with the giant snake. Then she remembered something from a few days earlier. Her husband had taken out a large life insurance policy in her name. A horrifying suspicion immediately crossed her mind. What if this had all been part of a carefully planned murder? Now she had only one goal: get out alive. She remembered what she had learned about snakes. They may have difficulty detecting completely motionless objects, but they can quickly sense movement and body heat. So she slowly got out of bed and began moving toward the door without making a sound. But the exact thing she feared happened. The moment the door made a faint noise, the snake became alert. When she looked back, it had raised its head and was preparing to strike. Her heart was pounding. But she didn't scream or panic. That calm reaction may have saved her life. She suddenly ran toward the exit. But when she reached the front door, her blood ran cold. Her husband had locked it from the outside. She desperately tried to open it, but the door wouldn't budge. Meanwhile, the snake was getting closer and closer. Then it struck again. This time, she fought back. She used the hairpin she was wearing to protect herself and then spotted a metal rod nearby. She grabbed it and slammed it against the door with all her strength. Finally, the door broke open. She escaped just moments before the snake could strike again. As she ran out of the house, she glanced at a photo of herself and her husband. Her anger exploded. She was now convinced that her husband had been planning her murder from the very beginning.
She rushed straight to the biology professor's lab and told him everything. Together, they decided to turn the tables on her husband. They worked through the night to develop a special pheromone. The idea was that when the snake heard a specific whistle, it would be triggered to attack the person who had been controlling it. The woman knew that once her husband discovered she was still alive, he would come back with the snake. And that's exactly what happened. About 30 minutes later, her husband arrived with a giant snake. This time, he didn't even bother pretending to care. He released the snake and blew his whistle, ordering it to attack her. But at that exact moment, the woman pulled the special pheromone from her pocket and sprayed it directly toward the snake. And in that instant, her